Welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. The show where, just like you, we can't get enough sports.
The 47-year wait is over! And the Nuggets win it! Wilson throwing, it's up for grabs, and it's caught for the touchdown! And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50. And the Avalanche are 2022 Stanley Cup champions! And a shot into the back of the net for Diego Rubio!
Now here's your hosts, Arthur Knight and Larry Perkins.
1-0 Rapids. They are champions.
He's muted. What's going down? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Sportz Phenz. I am Arthur Knight, and with me is Larry Perkins. Sorry about that. I'm sending a text to the chat.
No texting and
Well, I'm just letting everybody know that we're live. We are live here at So High Cafe, 4300 West Alameda in Denver. Come on by. Say what's up to Vinny. Tell him the Sportz Phenz sent you. Get you some wings. Get you some mac and cheese. Everything is everything, and he has put his foot in everything, and that is a term, a good term in the culinary space. He put his entire foot in this batch. All right. Anyways,
I know all about that.
All right. Welcome to the show again.
Game day.
Last day of the NFL regular season. A lot of games going on right now, wrapping up. A lot of playoff implications going on.
It's the first show of the new year.
It is the first show of the new year. Did not think about that. Because, last show was on the 29th, right? So, first show. Welcome to the first show of the year, Larry.
Welcome.
First show of our second year as a show, really, because we started the show around this time last year. So we've got a lot to get into, man. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to start off with the NFL and some of the games that they have playing right now. Let's start up with what's wrapped already. Let's see. We've got Philly beating New York 20-13. Houston beats Tennessee 23-14. Cincinnati wins yesterday, solidifying their opportunity to go to the playoffs, right? So now the Broncos have to win,
Right.
Because if the Broncos lose, Cincinnati is in. And then, I guess if Miami wins, then there's other implications there, but we're not getting into all of that.
Basically, Broncos have to take care of business. They should be able to. Since KC's not playing nobody.
Yeah. And then Baltimore won 35-10 against Cleveland yesterday.
So everything is pretty much
shaping up the way it should.
Yeah.
We do have some active games right now. Tampa Bay is in the red zone and beating New Orleans 20-19. I don't think there's any playoff implications for that, right? Tampa Bay is pretty much won their division. Nope, they don't have a Y or an X next to theirs, so they must still have.
Against Atlanta, they still have to win their game.
Oh, okay. So Atlanta has a chance to still win the division. Ain't that see?
Yeah, that's how bad the NFC South is.
That's just that's terrible. Yeah. As Charles Barkley would say, that's terrible.
Yeah. I'm just seeing how the Packers choking away this game here.
And Atlanta's losing to Carolina right now, so but Atlanta's also in the red zone and having a chance to win that game, having a chance to at least tie it at bare minimum. Let's see what else. Washington is losing to Dallas 16-19. That's not weird at all.
No, they already.
Washington is in the red zone though, so they have an opportunity to tie or go ahead. And then you've got Jacksonville and Indianapolis 23-23 in overtime.
Useless game. Unfortunately, somebody have to win that game.
Well, unfortunately, they had to play that game.
Exactly.
No implications there. Like, who cares who wins and loses that game?
No.
The only thing that Jacksonville kind of wants to lose because, they want a higher seating in the draft. So
somebody should have told the Raiders that.
Hey, man, they got to still play because they don't want their coach to get fired, man. That's a good way. If your team quits on you, whether it's because they just quit on the team or whatever, that's a good way to get your coach fired. So, I'll give the players kudos that they actually did, play till the end. Whether win, lose, or draw, they played till the end. Looks like Atlanta just scored. 4-yard touchdown by Robinson, rushing touchdown. So now
Atlanta could get in if the Bucks lose and Atlanta win because they both would be tied.
Yeah, and I think Atlanta beat Tampa Bay.
They had.
That's why they haven't put a Y or an X next to their name.
So whoever wins that division gonna get their little fourth slot.
Dang, a whole bunch of scoring just happened right now. Bears just got a field goal. Washington just scored a touchdown. And then the Atlanta, like I said, just scored a touchdown. So it's now tied.
Chicago made it. Nice.
Yeah.
Just because.
Just because. So now, the Bucks just scored a touchdown. So Bucks are trying to win this division, man, and keep Atlanta out. Go ahead, Buccaneers. All right, so. With all of that said, now that we've run down everything that's happened today, most of the games that are scheduled this afternoon start at 2:25 Mountain Standard Time here. So San Francisco versus Arizona for no implication whatsoever because I don't think either one of them.
I call that.
Let me just double check. Yeah, neither one of them has a playoff opportunity, so that's another game.
They're playing in the Disappointment Bowl. Who's going to win the Disappointment Bowl? I had high.
Neither one of those teams are even really playing for seed. They're going to be middle of the pack regardless of this game. So, and then Miami versus New York. Miami does have a little bit of life and hope because if they win, it's a 3-way tie with the Denver and Cincinnati. And I believe that Miami I think they edge out. They will edge out Cincinnati if they win. I will have to double check that, but I believe that is the correct way it goes. But either way,
the Broncos just have to win
and then that X-nays all of that. Yeah. I feel you, but they that's why they play the games, right?
It's gonna be a cluster. You know what?
Well, I mean, it's not like, and we'll get to that game here in just a second, but, it's not like the Broncos are playing against a QB who's never started in the league before. So, the Denver defense needs to still bring their A game today, and the offense needs to help the defense this week.
Man, it's going to be a blowout. Denver going.
Because if the offense had helped the defense last week, they left the defense kind of high and dry, but the defense kind of, folded a little bit too. It would be a 50-50.
They played against two elite quarterbacks the last two games.
And they stopped their offense twice in the red zone. They went for it on fourth down twice in the red zone, and the defense stuffed them, and the offense couldn't score on that. If the offense had scored on every turnover that they had, that the defense handed to them, the Broncos would have won that game last week, and we wouldn't even be talking about that. But let's get to Seattle and Los Angeles. I do not believe that either one of these – yes, exactly. Neither one of these teams is going to the playoffs because they don't have any opportunity.
Did you say – what team was that? You said the Rams?
Yeah, Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Sea Chickens.
Yeah, the Rams are heading to the playoffs.
I don't think so, my guy.
Yeah. Somebody in that division got to
go. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. My bad. I don't know why I was thinking the Rams were in the AFC for some reason. My bad. Correction. Los Angeles is headed to the playoffs, but I don't think this win, a win or a loss right here doesn't really matter to them at all because they've already locked their division. All right, and then Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The only thing that this implicates is if Los Angeles wins, they get to keep that 5th spot. If they lose, I believe Pittsburgh jumps above them in the 5th spot, but I'd have to do a deep dive into exactly how that works in that game. But basically win, and they get to keep the 5th spot no matter what, because then they'll have 11 wins as opposed to Pittsburgh's 10 wins. And then we have the KC Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. The game of I would say it should be the game of the day.
It's not.
It should be, but it's not, because the Minnesota and Detroit game tonight is the game of the day.
That's going to be the game to watch.
And they should have put that on tomorrow night. Do we have a Monday night game tomorrow? I don't think we do.
No, it's the last.
Yeah, I don't think we do. They definitely should have skipped Sunday night and put that game on Monday night, man.
This is like my whole predictions is
that's
basically
for the number 1 spot, like overall in the NFC. It's for
Right.
the number 1 spot in their division.
because I'm picking the Lions, but I don't know if they lose to get to Minnesota, and they have to play on the road in Minnesota. I don't know.
Yeah, man,
So
that's
that's
gonna be
like-
tough. I agree with you. That's gonna be tough.
I'm like this: if the Lions lose to the Vikings tonight, they're gonna play each other again. But because they playing, where they playing in Detroit tonight?
It is in Detroit.
Okay, they're gonna be playing in Minnesota to come playoff time if they do lose to Minnesota tonight in Detroit.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are 1-1 right now with each other's. Like each of them have won a game.
Right.
Or no, that's impossible.
They ain't 1-1 if you count preseason.
Well, no, they already had to play. They've already played in Minnesota, obviously.
Right.
And now they're playing in Detroit. Okay. Anyway, so KC and Denver. Denver wins, they're in. Denver loses, they are out. Number 1, nobody expected the Denver Broncos to be here, except for maybe me. I expected them to be here, but it was more of a homer pick. I'm not going to try to front and be like I'm a guru. It was a homer pick after the last 2 games of the preseason. I saw Bo Nix, and I was like, that's our guy. He'll probably get us 12 wins. And I wasn't far off. If he wins today and gets into the playoffs, that's 10 wins. That's pretty damn close to my prediction. But speaking of predictions, we are going to go through mine and Larry's predictions from preseason. So we chose all of these for those who have been watching the show or following the show. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on social media at Sportz Phenz. But basically, right after the 4th game of the preseason, Larry and I went through each division and made our predictions, and now we are going to pretty much see how close we were, how dead on we were, or how terribly wrong we were. So, all right, Larry, let's start with the NFC East. Why don't you read the actual... And we're going to go Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants.
Not taking into consideration the games,
that are being played right now.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Okay. At the top of the division, we got the seven.
No. Start with the Cowboys. Start with the Cowboys.
Talking about
that's
worst to top.
No. We're just going to go on our list like we said we were. So we started with the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants.
Cowboys are 7-9.
Okay, so you had them at 11-6.
Yeah.
I had them at 14-3. Not even close. All right, Eagles.
Okay, Eagles are 13-3.
Okay, Larry had them at 14-3. So the Eagles. No, wait. You said they're 13-3. Are they still playing right now?
Yeah.
Are they one of the teams that we announced is still playing?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Mhm.
Let's see where they're at. No, their game is done.
Well, the thing is, it still haven't.
Yeah, they haven't updated it.
Right.
Okay, so they're 14-3.
Okay.
They're 14-3. Yes, yeah, they're 14-3. So Larry actually got that one dead on. I'm gonna put an asterisk next to that one because you actually got that one right.
Woohoo.
Let's make sure. Where the hell is my asterisk? Am I tripping? I'm tripping. There it is. I'm like, I can't see right now. All right. So Larry got that one. I had him at 10-7. Close, but not close enough. All right, Commanders.
The Commanders 11-5.
All right, we both had them at 5 and 12.
I know.
So yeah, we were dead wrong on the Commanders. Kudos to the Commanders.
Yeah, whatever.
F your team, man. All right, so the Giants.
Giants are 3 and 13.
3 and 14. They just lost.
Okay,
So
and that makes
makes yours dead on again. So Larry got another one that where he was dead on. I thought they would be 2 and 15. So I was one off. So pretty close. All right, NFC North, my dude. Starting with the Bears.
They are 4 and 12. Did they win? I think they won. I know they kicked a field goal.
Let's check.
They went ahead of the Packers.
I think they did.
You think they did? Okay, let's check.
Yes,
The Bears won 24-22.
They're 5 and 12 then.
5 and 12. We both had them at 9 and 8, so we were both wrong. Vikings. We're both dead wrong on this one. I already know.
14 and 2.
All right, you had them at 2 and 15. I had them at 3 and 14. So we were dead wrong. Our apologies to the Vikings fans. All right, Packers.
The Packers, they just lost, so 11 and 6.
All right, so you had them at 13 and 4. Mm-hmm. I had them at 10 and 7. So I was one off. But hey, that it is what it is. All right. Last but not least, the division leaders tied with the Vikings.
14 and 2.
They are 14 and 2. You had them at 14 and 3. I had them at 15 and 2. So that one's still up in the air.
Yeah.
That could go either way for both of us. So we'll put a pin in that one, and we'll let you know next week. Well, you'll obviously know who got it next week, but we'll still let you know. All right. So that was the NFC North. Lay on me the NFC West, my guy.
Which team?
We're starting with the Rams. And we were both dead wrong. We thought they were going to be better than what they were.
10 and 6.
10 and 6. You had them at 14 and 3. I had them at 12 and 5. All right. Sea Chickens.
9 and 7.
You were close, or at least you're still up in the air because if they're one of our pending teams, right?
Right.
They haven't played yet today,
Right.
Or are they wrapping up?
No,
They play
the Arizona.
The Rams.
No, they playing the Cardinals. The
But they're out.
Rams. You talking about
Seattle's playing the Rams.
the Rams is playing the Cardinals.
Yeah, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about the Seahawks.
Oh, I don't know if they playing today.
Boy, did you bump your head today? They are playing.
Well, hey, man, it's 32
They
teams.
have not played yet today.
Hey, that's
They play the Rams today at 2:25. So you said right now they're 10 and 6.
no, they 9 and 7.
9 and 7. So if they win today, your prediction will be dead on at 10 and 7.
Right.
And then I had them at 7 and 10, so I was dead wrong. All right, the 40 Winers. What's their record?
You got names for every team, huh?
I do.
Every slur. Okay. 6 and 10.
Woo! You had them at 15 and 2.
Right.
I had them at 12 and 5. Dead wrong, both accounts. All right, the Cardinals.
7 and 9.
All right, so you had 9 and 8, so they're not going to make that. I had 8 and 9, so mine is still up in the air. They could still, if they win today, they can still make 8 and 9. All right, my guy. NFC South, starting with the Bucks.
8 and 7.
All right, you had them at 3 and 14. I had them at 5 and 12, so we were both dead wrong. We undersold them.
This shows that they won their 9 and 7.
They 9 and 7.
Okay.
9
Well,
and
either
7.
way, you had them at 3 and 14. I had them at 5 and 12. We weren't even close. Well, I mean, I was closer than you were, but still.
Right.
That's just competitiveness in me. The Aints.
Sad Aints, 5 and 10.
All right, you had them at 12 and 5. I also had them at 12 and 5, and we were both dead wrong. The Panthers.
4 and 12.
You had them at 6 and 13. I had them at 3 and 14. So they played better than I thought they would, and they didn't play as good as you thought they would be.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just like that whole South, just kind of like. I mean, I had high hopes for the Saints.
It's garbage division. All right, Falcons.
Mid 8-8.
They're 8-8, so, and they're still playing right now, right? So if they win, yeah, they're playing against Carolina right now. There's 17 seconds left, so they're probably
it's in overtime.
Is it already in overtime? I just need to refresh my screen there. All right, but if they win, give me their record one more time.
8-8.
They're 8-8. Okay, so if they win, I will be correct at 9-8, and you will be incorrect at 8-9. If they lose, you will be correct. So that's another one of those games where, you know what I'm saying? If they win, I'm correct. If they lose, you're correct.
Yeah.
All right.
So far,
You've got 2 dead on. You've got 2 dead on so far. Now we're gonna move on to the AFC West.
Oh, I thought we was going.
Or excuse me, the AFC East. Excuse me. Let's start with the Jets. Jets.
4-12.
You had them at 10-7. I had them at 7-10. I think we both gave them a little too much grace
Because of the quarterback.
Yeah. We shouldn't have. Dolphins.
8-9.
All right. So, and they still have to play today.
I'm sorry, 8-8.
They still have to play today. You have them at 8-9 on the season. So if they lose today, you will be dead on again. If they win, you will be not dead on, and you will be wrong. The Dolphins. I had them at 12-5, and they suck worse than that, and that sucks. They've had a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah, that's a lot of these teams.
They should be at 12-5 this year.
They still have a dynamic offense, but
they
like
do.
You say,
Their defense is
Tua. Yeah, without Tua,
All right. Next is the Pats.
The Pats is 3-13,
and they just lost, right?
Yeah. So I think they like 3-14.
Oh no, they won.
Oh,
they beat
the
New
Bills.
England.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they beat
the
Buffalo's.
Well,
Buffalo.
it's flipped then. It's flipped. It's 4
and 13 is what they are right now.
And,
okay.
And the Buffalo's at 13-4. They flipped it.
So wait. Read me their the Patriots.
The Patriots they won, so now they 4-13.
They're 4-13.
Yeah.
We both had them at 3-14. So if they had lost today, we would have both been dead on. But they won today because the Bills are flash in the pan. I'm guessing because they should not have lost that game. They should have beaten.
And they played their guys, so there's no.
They really did. There's no excuse.
They played all their guys.
Yes, they did. All right, AFC North.
That seemed pretty good for you for the.
No, we skipped the Bills. I'm sorry. Go back. We skipped the Bills. What's the Bills now?
Well, now they 13-4.
And you had them at 12-5, pretty damn close. I had them at 14-3, pretty damn close. Had the Bills done what they were supposed to do today, I would have been dead on with the Bills.
Now they seem less scary to the Broncos, probably going.
For real.
No,
for real. There's a chink in the armor.
So we're going to the north, right?
And it's not like New England scored a bunch of yes.
Okay.
To answer your question,
But go ahead.
It's not like New England scored a bunch of points though. The Broncos can score a bunch of points, but obviously New England found a chink in the armor on their defense. Hopefully the Broncos can win today and get a. They've done that before. The Broncos, when they had Tebow, they've kind of backed their way into a playoff winning. Win all, get into the playoff game, and they went in and won against Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, anyway, it can happen. It's happened before. AFC North, let's start with the Ravens.
The Ravens are 12-5.
12-5 with a game to be played, correct?
No,
that's
won.
right. They already won.
Yeah.
They already won. All right, so 12-5. We both had them at 14-3, so they lackluster season for the Ravens. All right, the Bungles.
The Bungles. The Bengals. Oh, you got me over here talking. They 9-8.
All right, and they won yesterday. You had them at 12-5, and they probably should be at 12-5. Had they been playing the way they played the last 4 or 5 games all season, they probably would be 12-5, maybe even 13 wins. But I had them at 10-7, so I was closer to what they actually are. I was still one off, but still, I was closer than they are who I thought they were, right?
They like the Dolphins. They high powered offense but no defense.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, sir. All right, the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are 10-6.
All right, we were both off. You weren't way off. You had them at 8 and 9. I was way off. I had him at 5 and 12. But I got to tip my hat to my guy Tomlin. That dude seems to. You can give him any quarterback, he is going to win with that quarterback. He may not win big. They may not get 13 to 15 wins, but they're going to win and they're going to get enough to get into the tournament and give themselves a shot. All right, the Browns. The skid marks.
3-14.
Okay, we were both off, but I was closer. You had them at 7 and 10. I had them at 5 and 12, but they are who we thought they were. That's another one where
I gave them 7.
You gave them 7 wins, my dude. Damn. You gave them the benefit of the doubt. All right, AFC South, the dirty South.
The South, not the West. Okay.
And we have a first down.
Oh. Broncos game just started. All right. Don't get me distracted, Vinny. I'm doing good right now.
Giving the better highlights.
All right, AFC South, and let's start with the Jags.
Okay, Jags, 4 and 12.
All right, you had them at 11 and 6. What were you thinking? I had them at 10 and 7. What was I thinking? That team is terrible. I was thinking they had a quarterback and they had finally put some tools around him that he could use.
That's crazy, huh? Like this year, both Southern conferences is
just terrible.
McLaughlin takes it for 6.
What's that?
I'm actually doing announcing. McLaughlin takes it for 6.
That's what's up. All right, the Titans.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
It's right there. The Titans, 9 and 7.
9 and 7. Tennessee, huh? No, they're not. They're 3 and 13.
Oh, I'm thinking about the Texans. Man, the Titans and Texans. Come on, man. They both have T's in it.
All right. So 3 and 13, and that's 3 and 14. It should be 3 and 14, shouldn't it?
If they lost, yeah. Didn't you say the Titans and the Jaguars both played each other?
I think the game has not been played yet. You are absolutely correct.
First down.
First down, heard. Wait. This screen keeps refreshing on me. Like, quit moving the damn. No. Tennessee lost today to Houston.
Okay.
So Tennessee. It's 3 and 14, yeah. I don't think you've refreshed your screen, my guy. Yes, you, sir.
Hold on.
So you had them at 4 and 13. I had them at 3 and 14. So I finally got one to where I was dead on. We are who we thought you were, Titans. Dang. Both of us. I mean, you were one off, bro. Like, I'll give you that one. Like, you were one off. But they are who we thought they were. All right, Texans. Now I am saying Texans.
Okay. 9 and 7.
9 and 7. You had them at 15 and 2.
Damn.
I had them at 14 and 3. So we were pretty high on the Texans. They still won the division.
Yeah, I still like the Texans.
But what did we say at the beginning of the season? Once teams have tape on you, right? Because they had what, 12, 13 wins last year. Now they're barely winning their division with 9 wins.
Oh, yeah.
So once teams have tape on you,
right up the middle for 10.
Nice.
On the 33.
Let's get it, Broncos. Let's get it. All right, Colts.
Colts 7 and 9.
7 and 9. You had them at 5 and 12. I had them at 3 and 14.
Oh,
so
really, they did better than we was.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did better.
Yeah.
They weren't exactly who we thought they were. And you were close. 5 and 12. You were close.
All
right. Our coveted AFC West, the last division and best division in the league. Hands down, the toughest division and has been for decades. Let's start with the Chiefs. Excuse me. 15 and 1.
15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 and 1. 15 Did
he throw one? Is that a passing touchdown?
That was my play, I got to say.
Vinny drew that up.
Vinny has an unorthodox way of playing football.
In the shotgun. Oh, I'm going to hold it back. I'm going to hold it back twice. Oh, no.
That's not your play.
Oh, sorry.
That's not your play. That was a screen. But it was a good play.
It was
anyway, but Vinny does have an orthodox way of playing football. He thinks you should just throw the 9 every single time.
Hey,
throw it to the end zone every single time. He's like that dude from what is it? Huck it, chuck it, football.
Yeah. Throwing steaks.
Coach Vinny.
That's too funny. Okay, so you 15-1, hopefully 15-2 by the end of this game today.
I know I had him high.
You had him at 14-3. I had him at 13-4. And that's where they should be had they not eked out. Like, they should have 3 losses, 4 losses, had they not eked out a couple of these wins. One against the Broncos with a blocked field goal, because they should have another loss at that. But anyway, I digress on that point. We're at where we're at.
Against the Raiders,
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have a couple of more losses. So, but bottom line is we were pretty close to picking the Chiefs, but neither one of us was correct. Chargers
10 and what is that? 10 and 6.
10-6. So they could be 10-7 by the end of today. They could be 11-6. You had them at 10-7. I had them at 9-8. So they're better than we thought they were. Mm-hmm. Well, or they're dead on what you thought if they lose today, because they will be 10-7.
Yep.
All right, the Raiders, the
4-12.
We both had them at 8-9. So we were both dead wrong. They just didn't play very well this year. You guys don't have a quarterback. You do have a beast in Brock Bowers.
We don't have a wide receiver.
Nope, because you traded him away. Yeah, you guys need to. You guys are going to be building from the ground up. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 years until the Raiders actually start winning again. That is, unless they pull a rabbit out their hat and get a quarterback somehow.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Just hope another one of my kids are just.
Bro, there is going to be. Oh shoot! I just realized this, and I promise you, I didn't. I thought I chose the Broncos to have 12 wins. I actually chose them to have 10 wins. That's kind of crazy that they actually will. They could win 10 games, and I'd be dead on. But anyways, back to the Raiders really quick.
It's weird.
It's weird. I don't feel like the Raiders are more than 2 or 3 years away. They do have a lot of key pieces, but you guys are going to be building. There are going to be a lot of quarterbacks that are starting caliber coming out next year as opposed to this season. Yeah. You guys were stuck with, Mustache and all of the guys that you had as quarterback that you felt was starting material are all backup quarterbacks, right? There's going to be some quarterbacks. I have a feeling that the Broncos will release.
Well, me being a Raiders fan, I'm like this. The general manager, that's why he get paid the money. He need to sit back and he need to assess, like you were saying. I'm in agreement with you. It's going to be the 2 or 3 years. Now, if you can get a nice young through the draft, do it. I would not try.
Would you be okay if they traded up to get Shador?
I would, but I'm not trying to get a free agent quarterback off the market. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to build.
Because the backup quarterback that's playing today for the Chiefs will be one of those quarterbacks that will be. He will be available.
Okay, I'm not worried about if it's a 2 to 3 year process. If I can come into
I'm saying if you don't trade up to get a young guy, let's say you can't get one of the top tier just like this year, you weren't able to get a top tier quarterback out of the draft.
Right.
Let's say that happens to them again this year. Coming up next.
Right. If I can't, year. Right. If I can't, I'm going for the best receiver, the best run, anything I can get. And I think as far as quarterbacks is concerned, I get somebody not really good, but just somebody, a gap filler.
So you'd be trying to convince free agent running backs and wide receivers to come here like, hey, look, I know we don't have our quarterback right now, but if we bring you here, it'll be easier to, on the rookie quarterback that we do get, the transition will be. I'm not trying to go get
in this free agency, I'm not trying to get the best of the best. I'm not trying to convince like a real star running back or a real star wide receiver to come here.
Okay.
I'm building.
Okay.
We need to build. We don't need to just like, just reload. No, we need to rebuild from the ground up, like you said. And it's going to be a 2 to 3 year process. So I'm going deep. I'm going in the draft. I'm trying to get the best available players I can get in the draft this year.
Cool.
And like I said, if it's a quarterback I can get to, if I can trade up to get a Shedeur Sanders.
Well, they're going to be in that top 5 area. They're going to be in that top 5 area. I agree. I would try to trade up with one of these teams that is above me that doesn't really need a quarterback. There's not too many though. Most of the ones, the reason why they are in the top is because they need a quarterback. But like it really will depend upon if Jacksonville is still going to ride that wave with their quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Are they going to let him go? Are they going to keep him? Because if they're going to keep him, then the Raiders have an opportunity to trade up with Jacksonville.
But they don't even know.
Exactly. We probably won't know for another month.
Right.
Once the Super Bowl, or once the playoffs have been played, we know where the seeding is going to be. But yeah, your team has a lot of building to do. The Broncos do have a lot of it, which is the last team. Right now they are 9 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
You had them at 7 and 10.
Yeah.
So you're wrong either way, even if they lose today. I actually had them at 10 and 7. So if they win today, I will be dead on. Next week, once they announce the MVP and the Rookie of the Year, we will announce. We will compare who we chose.
Get that.
4 and out, punt.
That's what's up. Broncos playing well so far, so good. All right, so that's what we had.
I think I got more asterisks than you did.
You did. You had more dead-ons. Or actually, I think we were about tied. Let me double-check. Nope, I only had 2 dead-ons, and that's only if the Broncos win today, and you had 3. So yeah, one more than I did. You chose. Good game. Good game.
Always, man.
See, he be talking that smack and then be mad when I talk smack to him.
That's how I roll it.
That's how I roll it.
Well, this is how the NBA in Miami rolls. They suspend their best player they have on the team for how many games was it?
7.
7 games.
But the NBPA or whatever, they're trying to appeal that.
Yeah, and make it less.
Yeah, but I mean, they only can do 5. That's the lowest they can.
So they can shave off 2 games.
Well, the thing is, they gave him that suspension. They're gonna. I mean, that's about 15 days, like 7 games. About 15, maybe 16 games. They're gonna trade him before his suspension, is lifted. So
right,
it's because they said.
So you told me before the show. That you were an advocate for Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah, I mean,
and I want to hear your argument for why this is a good thing for him or why he's in the right on this situation.
Well, since 2019, when he left, when he signed with Miami in free agency, when he left Philadelphia, he been professional up until now, but what I'm saying. He gave his everything, Those 2 finals he went to in 2020 and 2023, both times he was wobbled. If you notice, against the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, in those final games, he was hobbled. Remember that. He took that team, especially that comeback win against in 2023 against the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? He been nothing but, a showman. And Miami still, they've been harking for Pat Riley to make certain moves, but he never made them. He just kept that same core together for 4 years.
Because Pat Riley is still of that 90s.
80s, 90s ilk.
Yeah, he's still of that. The players.
But he has to get with
We're gonna build the team around how we want to build it. Financially, and you're going to play with the amount of money that we're willing to give you, or you can go somewhere else. That's literally how the Miami franchise lived.
That's what's going on right now.
Exactly. To your point, Paul Pierce came out and said, and I'm quoting here from his Twitter, the players see what's going on with all Miami superstars. So why would another superstar player go to Miami if this is how they all get treated with no respect? After what they have done for the franchise.
I never said anything regarding that, but the thing is, it's a pattern. Once you start seeing a pattern, now you can voice your. And it all started with Shaq.
Well, one could argue that there's a pattern with Jimmy Buckets too, of him trying to force his way out of franchises if they don't do what he wants them to do. But he keeps signing with these franchises that he knows are not going to do that. If you want to sign with a team, now I love Jimmy Buckets, and I'm not, I'm literally playing devil's advocate here, because I think he's a great player. He could go down as one of the greatest, at least in the top 100 players in the league. Jimmy Buckets could be that guy, depending on how he ends his career.
100?
But okay, I'm being a little generous. I'm just trying to be nice.
I thought you was going to say 80 at least.
No. He's top 100. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of players, man. There's a lot of players, and there's a lot of players.
Well, he didn't make the top 75, so.
Okay, that's why I said top 100. He's in that area.
I said 80.
But the bottom line is this: when it comes to Jimmy Buckets, every single team that he's ever signed for, now I can't think of how many times he's actually been traded. Most of the time he's signed to these teams from free agency, I would say. I'd say probably about 80% of the times, right?
Right.
Maybe 50-50. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is at least I know he wasn't – was he traded to Miami? I'm pretty sure he signed to Miami. Exactly. Yeah. Everybody knows, as Paul Pierce just said, you've seen a pattern with Miami. You saw a pattern with Minnesota. You saw a pattern with, who else did he play for? The Bulls, you see a pattern with him too. He likes to force his way out of these teams that he signs to that knows these guys aren't going to give you a bag, and sign creme de la creme all-star players. Plus, they don't have not only do they not have the money to sign these other players, they are in a market where big name players don't want to be.
Only place he forced himself out was Minnesota. I mean, they traded.
Nah, he did it with the Bulls too.
No, they traded him because they didn't want to pay him. That was the deal.
Right, because he was demanding a bag and they weren't going to pay him, so he forced his way out. He stopped playing. He was talking about he was injured. Like, he kept doing all of this stuff to get them to trade him. The same thing that he's doing right now. The same exact thing that he's doing to Miami right now. It's not all on Miami. Miami, expects him to be the player that he said he was going to be. And
he lived up to his end of the bargain. He took them to
a certain extent,
two finals in 4 years. That's not bad. He did more than LeBron did. He did more. He took the Heat to the finals more time.
But LeBron won though.
But he went to more finals though. He could have won.
But LeBron won. So you can't necessarily say that he's done more than LeBron, because LeBron actually won a ring. What happened? Interception? Oh, okay, you over there being animated.
I know you up here. I see him on the.
Nix was going to run the ball and fell down right in front of the first down.
Oh,
now
it looks like he just got the first. Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like Jimmy Butler right now, it's going to be hard for Miami to trade him anyway. It's going to be hard because nobody is going to want that toxicity in their locker room.
Well, the thing is, I was reading right now the destination teams that he want to go to. They don't want, the Spurs don't want him. The Rockets don't want him. The Golden State Warriors do not want to trade.
He wants to go somewhere where he can just win a champion. He wants to pull a KD. But KD at least did it when he was a free agent. Butler's trying to do it. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a little bit, I would lean more towards it's Miami's fault that the relationship has soured. I would agree with that. But with what's going on right now, the reason why they had to suspend him was because they had to take money out of his pocket. The only way you get to these players is to talk through their money. And suspending him means he doesn't get game checks. He's not going to get paid for 7 games. And as you said, he's going to be not playing basketball for like 15 to 20 days, give or take.
Jimmy Butler is going to be traded.
First and 10 at the 13.
Thank you, sir.
In the next 15 days before, and the thing
But
is.
who is he going to get traded to? It'll probably be Washington. Or
it's gonna because this is his last year. He has a player option after this year.
That's another reason why he's going to be hard to be traded because
nobody's
can he guarantee Miami guarantee the team they trade him to he's going to pick up that player option?
No, he wants them. No, the thing is he wants the team that picks him up to do a contract, like basically add years to upon getting traded.
Right.
And the thing is, mid-season, I don't think no team wants to guarantee him 2 more years on his current deal.
Not when you're in your 30s, bro.
Touchdown.
Yeah, he's 35.
Yeah,
so
not when you're in your 30s, my guy.
So he's 35 going on 36.
And Jimmy's still playing at a high level. Don't get it twisted. He is still playing at a high level.
But he only got like about 2 to 3 more years at that level.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, I wouldn't even, unfortunately, because he.
Would you take him on the Lake Show?
He did choose. He
right
picked
now.
Lakers.
Right now.
I couldn't. Because the thing is, we're going to lose a lot of our young players. We're going to lose Rui. We're going to lose Austin.
And that's the thing. You're gonna who's going to pay for a guy that it's 50-50 if he's going to stay on the team?
Don't know. But the thing is, the Lakers is not – the Lakers to be foolish to add years to his contract.
Any team.
Add years. I mean, if he just come and play, and then after the season we can talk or whatever. But I'm not adding years to your current contract.
Any team that's going to the playoffs right now, any team that is playing well right now, he would destroy their chemistry.
I wouldn't.
He would, you know what I'm saying? And you would also have to get rid of or trade off some of your core players.
Right.
Like the only teams that he would be good at if they moved him to would be like Oklahoma City, but then him and it would be hard.
Mess up everything.
Yeah, like you'd have to trade a lot of your core to get him, and then you keep SGA. Who's going to handle the ball? They both are not ball hogs. SGA actually does share. They're ball dominant. Exactly. Thank you.
But
So Minnesota, you're going to trade him to Minnesota. Who are you going to get rid of?
I mean,
they do have pieces they could do, and they're not playing very well right now. Actually, that might be an improvement.
You send them to Minnesota, it's gonna be fighting. Anthony, Ant-Man, and Jimmy.
What about the Clippers? The Clippers?
Well, it was talks about that. That's why I wanted to get to. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yep.
James Harden to Miami for a swap. Mm-hmm. But
that wouldn't be good for either team.
Exactly.
That literally would be like you and I walking over to each other with our garbage from our house and exchanging it. That'd be the same thing. Oh, yes, I did just liken both of them players to garbage because, they destroy teams, man. They go onto teams and they're selfish players sometimes. And I don't like those type of players.
Jimmy and hurt Kawhi feelings. He go over there. You still ain't back. You still ain't playing yet.
He wouldn't be good at Golden State because
they don't want him. They've already
said they don't want him. Yes, but because he wouldn't be good. Even though Curry is he's the guy there. He's not ball dominant though. He can play off the ball. Actually, he plays better off the ball than he does.
Also, Phoenix said they didn't want him. So
yep. Well, Phoenix can't afford him.
I know they got
Houston doesn't want him.
How many?
Houston can afford him, but they're not giving. They would have to give up some of their young core that's playing really well right now. Memphis could probably afford him as well, but they would have to trade away key players. San Antonio could probably afford him, but they don't want him.
You think Pop gets?
No.
Pop ain't going.
No, New Orleans, but then you would also have to swap out garbage for garbage again. You're swapping out one superstar player that can't stay healthy for another one that's aging and doesn't really want to play hard.
Memphis wouldn't be bad.
Memphis wouldn't be bad, and that would be an improvement.
That's they kind of grit and grind culture,
What about the East? Where would be a good landing spot for him there? I don't even say Cleveland because Cleveland's not giving up nothing.
Nothing.
They're playing really well.
Nothing.
But don't even mention Boston either. New York doesn't have the money, and they're not giving up anything. Philly?
Or maybe next door, Orlando.
Orlando wouldn't be bad, but I don't. They're playing so well at 21-15. I don't think they're giving up any of their core either. Any team that they trade with, the asking price is going to be too much. So that's why I think they're going to trade him to like a Detroit, Chicago, maybe Indiana.
It's going to be
Indiana.
It's going to be
that wouldn't be a bad fit.
Nah.
Atlanta.
They're not giving up their pieces. What I'm
Atlanta
thinking,
would trade away homeboy. I think they would trade away their point guard. Why can't I think of his name right
I
now?
hope you're not thinking Trae Young.
I think they would for Jimmy Buckets.
No, they wouldn't give him.
I think
Too
they
young.
would. I think they will. Well, he's not that young. He's like 7-8 years in the league, man. He's not that young.
But he came in when he's probably like 26 years old.
He's in his prime.
26, 27.
I'll give you that. He's in his prime, but he's not young.
Well, I'm an old guy. 26 is young to me.
What about Milwaukee? That's Milwaukee. The trade. That's a swap right there because doesn't Lillard want to go to Miami? That was his team he wanted to go to. If I would, just thinking about that, like if I was Miami, that's the only call I'd be making right now.
But the thing is, they're just going to have to trade him because the thing is he have no trade clause. So the thing is they can just trade him. Now, what he wants is another thing. But what he's going to go probably most likely.
That's a playoff team, though. As of right now,
is not going to add years to his contract. So basically, he's going to go wherever they send him.
It would be a loaner. Wherever he's going, it's a loaner for the rest of this season, and then it's up in the air if he picks up his player option, or if the team decides to extend, his contract.
But the thing is, if they don't,
he'd have to pick up his player option in order to get an extension, though. You can't extend a contract that's expired. You can't.
Right.
He has to pick up next year's option in order for them to sign him.
He will. But the thing is, that's what he wants.
That would be the only.
He wants long-term money.
Man, I'm telling you right now, if I was Miami, the only team that I would be calling right now is Milwaukee.
The thing is, he's going to get traded, and unfortunately for the Heat, they're going to get hardly anything for him. They're going to give.
Well, especially because of the way it's being handled right now.
It's going to be a bad trade.
The only reason why Miami, and this is where I think Miami is being crappy, right? This is where they're lowballing, is and they're hurting themselves in the process, to be honest with you, is they're diminishing his name and his value right now by suspending him games. Like you're shooting yourself in your foot or cutting off your nose to spite your own face, dude.
You got to understand one thing. Players is looking at the Heat right now.
They are.
What they did to Shaq, what they did to Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm.
They did not pay him, and he had to go to Chicago.
Just to get paid.
Yep.
And he
Look
did run himself into the ground.
He ran LeBron off.
Now, LeBron ran away because he knew they weren't going to do what the Lakers are doing right now.
Well, the thing is, right. I agree. You know what I'm saying? LeBron wanted this. You got to understand one thing. Heat culture. They're not going to bend to no star.
Nope.
If they got rid of Dwayne, well, not got rid of, but if they let Dwayne Wade, that's Mr. Wayne County, They let him go to Chicago, anybody can get it.
The Kings, I think, would be another good trade partner because I don't think they're doing very well with what's my guy's name?
De'Aaron Fox?
No. Fox is still playing very well. It's the other guy they picked up from the Bulls.
Who? DeMar DeRozan?
DeRozan, yeah.
DeRozan, yeah.
They're 16-19, but they just fired their coach. I doubt they would make the trade personally because they're going to have to give, like I said, any team that trades with Miami right now is going to have to give up a star player and maybe a couple of solid role players. The only one that I think is willing to do that is going to be Milwaukee. And that's because Lillard doesn't want to be there anyway. But right. Milwaukee would only have him for about a half a season. But him and the Greek Freak together, man, if they can get him to buy in, not even just like sign him anymore. If they can get him to buy in just for the end of this season as a loan, Milwaukee would be pretty tough to beat, my guy. Like that would be really, really tough. But I think that's the only trade partner that that's gonna pick up their phone call. Everybody else is like, we don't want that cancer. We don't want that dude. We don't want an aging star who's still a prima donna.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting this season. The trade deadline is coming up in next month. So, I mean, you literally have two teams that came out and said they having fire sales, the Bulls and the Pelicans. They literally, anybody on their team is good if the right trade comes along.
Yeah.
So that's something to be looked at.
All of these players are still out there. Levine.
You the whole Vujic?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not an easy name to say.
I know. I just call him Vuj.
But yeah, there's a lot of names out there, man. MPJ is still out there for the Denver Nuggets, but he's been playing so well.
That's how you do it, though. You play yourself out of trade talks.
Exactly. Or you give yourself a lot more value, just because the Nuggets still need some sort of veteran presence of all-star caliber help. Because Jamal Murray, I love him to death. He's just not all-star caliber. I'm a little upset now that they've given him such all-star money. I think they should have made him prove it, but then he would have also walked away. And Jamal Murray is a key cog in how things roll here in Denver. But with all of that said, we will see.
Is, Denver had to do it, and I'm not faulting them for doing it because they are Denver, and like you told me, they're not a free agent destination.
Just like a lot of places are. Minnesota isn't either.
If they didn't pay him, which they honestly they shouldn't, but the thing is, he would have walked.
He would have walked,
and the Nuggets don't want that.
Nope.
So they had to pay him.
Nope.
So,
you'd had to build from the ground up with your point guard that's been here for 8 years, by getting rid of your point guard for 8 years.
And that's something that the old Denver teams did. And that's why they floundered.
This Denver team,
it's a new
day and age.
I agree. This is a new, which is good. This is new. If it was back in the Mutombo days with that franchise, they would have said no. And that's why Dikembe left, because he wanted the money, and they said, we're going to pay you. This is what we think you're worth. He said no, and he took the I remember like if it was yesterday in '96. You know what I'm saying? He left to Atlanta to the Hawks. So it's a new time, a new day.
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately, they did they shouldn't have, but they did it. So kudos to Denver. They straight. Like I said, you guys, y'all on the right. Y'all franchise is good. Y'all be.
Just need a couple of these role players that are young to step up into their,
window is open. Y'all just, it's growing pains. It comes with like a year or two removed champion.
Well, the NBA has kind of made it this way too. Like they've made it so that you can't get 2, 3, and 4 championships in a row. They want more peril. They want more different teams going to the finals all the time. Yeah. And that's what the NBA wants. That's not necessarily what some fans want. I know you don't want that because you're a dynasty guy. You like teams that are dominant over the course of some time. It's like stop us if you can.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. I do.
As long as it's not Boston.
As long as it's not Boston.
Stop them, please.
All right, we got 2 minutes left, my guy. Let's see if I can stump you. I even have a football player in this. Can I stump Larry? Oh. And we're gonna start with the football player too.
Oh, not a football. I'm a basketball junkie.
Yeah. All right. So this player played. Let's see. No. Let's go. This player was drafted by the New York Giants in the 3rd round. Who am I?
I don't know. Lawrence Taylor.
Nope. Not Lawrence Taylor. All right, this player was drafted in the 3rd round by the New York Giants, is a 1-time Pro Bowler and 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Eli Manning?
Ooh, that was a good guess. No, but I thought Eli was a 1st-round draft pick, my guy.
Oh, my bad.
That's all good. It's all good. This player, let's see, ended his career with 16,430 yards. He had 94 touchdowns as opposed to 71 interceptions. Who am I?
Oof. Jeez.
I'll give you this little nugget. He wore number 15.
Who, Jeff Hostetler?
Yep, that was who it is. That's who it is. I shouldn't have given him that. He'd have never gotten it had I not given him that little hint.
Yeah, I remember when he played for my Raiders.
Yeah. All right. Back to basketball. This person played point guard and is a Hall of Famer, 10-time All-Star. Who am I?
Say that. I'm sorry. Say it one more time. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. 10-time All-Star.
Okay.
Played point guard.
Steve Nash.
No, but good guess. Let's see. This player is not only a Hall of Famer and a 10-time All-Star and played point guard. He averaged 12.6 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, and 8.7 assists, all on a 40% field goal and a 34% on three-point percentage.
Chauncey Billups.
Nope. Good guess, though. Okay, so Hall of Famer. 10-time All-Star. Point guard.
Not all.
Point guard and shooting guard.
Oh, okay.
He played point guard and shooting guard. Let's see. He's a 6-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive Team, and he was Rookie of the Year. He has a Rookie of the Year award.
Oh, I know all about that.
Last guess.
Allen Iverson.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Hall of Famer, 10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year in 1994 to 95, 9-time All-Defensive Team, averaged 12.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists. All right, my guy. So that was a 1-1. I'll give you that though. I'll give you that because you got Hostetler. I'll give you that win. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us today. I need to get to watching this Broncos game. Love and peace. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Do not forget to follow So High Cafe on Instagram and tell Vinny that the Sportz Phenz sent you when you come on by and get you some barbecue, some Viper Pit barbecue. We will see you guys this same time next week. Peace.